He can swim, but his diving skills are as poor as Donald Duck's flying, so facing death, he could only pray for rescue. Rick lent him John's gear. After sending John off, he intended to return for Year High. But cave diving for ordinary people is like pitting a small boat against the sea monster, a hopeless endeavor. The worker had just entered the water. Suddenly, his claustrophobia surged like ants on a hot pan. Panic overtook him. In a panic, he grabbed Rick wildly, eager to surface fast. In chaos, he lost his secondary regulator, like a goldfish trapped. Struggling to rise, disaster hit, he crashed into sharp rocks, blood splattered as he lost consciousness. Rick promptly popped the secondary regulator into the worker's mouth, as if doing emergency dental work, then dragged him ashore, resolving the crisis. When John reached the shore, they were greeted by the mayor-like heroes, who listened to the tales of the underwater chaos party as rain poured down. To prevent a new round of water talks, the mayor temporarily halted rescue operations. On the 7th day, it rained like a movie scene, with parents on the verge of despair. So they made a small request. I wish for my son to exit stage left gracefully. Can you help me send my child over here? Subtitles. This made Jargan's urgent meetings mysterious, discussing when and who would re-enter the cave. The military wait for rain to stop and water to drain. Rick and John couldn't wait. They thought, we're here, don't hold back. But what's it like to swim in boiling water? Having swum for 30 years, Rick and John meant no trouble, but had come far to save lives. Each delay felt like kids' lives hanging by a thread. In the end, the mayor delayed the rescue, fearing he couldn't bear the responsibility if they had an accident. The mayor aimed to end his term perfectly. On day 8, the Island Flow project in the mountain progressed, with volunteers moving pipes uphill as if relocating. Water that was supposed to flow into the cave had now brilliantly moved down the mountain. The hydraulic engineer gazed at the deluge-absorbed fields, lost in thought. On the 9th day, an unbelievable event occurred, like a fantasy from an ancient book. High legends say that centuries ago in a palace, a princess loved a stable boy, their love a dazzling bomb, but the king disapproved. But love's power, stronger than Edward's magic, made them elope to Chiang Rai, Thailand, for a fresh start. Unfortunately, happiness was short-lived. The stable boy was targeted by an assassin while out, forcing the princess to die for love. Legend has it that after his death, his blood became rivers and his body transformed into mountains. Many Thai people started having the same dream, where the long-gone princess of 300 years had a special request for them. If they could find a high monk named Cuba Wenchen, she would pardon and release the 13 trapped boys. The princess even said that Cuba Wenchen was the reincarnation of her beloved stable boy. However, the name Cuba Wenchen was unfamiliar to people. A restaurant owner firmly believed this, posted on social media to find the monk, and Thai netizens responded in droves. Many said they'd had the same dream. As it trended, they found monk Cuba Wenchen, to everyone's surprise. He admitted to having the exact same dream and followed the princess' guidance all the way to Chiang Rai, Thailand. After the ceremony outside, he entered alone and emerged 2 hours later, leaving all wondering what happened inside. Once outside, he told everyone that the divers were about to find the trapped kids and they were all safe and sound. See just a day or two until a reunion. Subsequently, he conducted a memorial for the princess outside the cave. Soon after Cuba Wenchen departed, the 9-day downpour miraculously ceased. The outline of the princess atop the mountain became clearer. On the 10th day, the rescue mission resumed, and Rick and John geared up to dive back in. This time as scouts, they brought along a camera and guiding ropes. They spent 3 hours and 50 minutes to finally reach the trapezoidal inlet. Rick connected the lifeline with the guiding rope, and the next leg of their journey promised to be a brand new adventure. Soon, they arrived at the second large cavity of the cave, Pasir Beach, where the kids were likely lounging around like it was a pool party. John pulled out the camera and shouted, but there was no response. They exchanged glances, silently thinking, well, are they sunbathing on the beach? They decided to prepare for the worst-case scenario, splitting up like explorers as they trudged through the narrow caves. After passing through a narrow cave, they reached the 9th cave 2.5 km away. Upon removing regulators, a foul smell hit them like opening Pandora's box. Rick and John were as excited as if they'd just kicked a golden egg. After confirming everyone was present, they grabbed their camera, and seeing the kids' condition left them speechless. See, truly a miraculous moment. The kids were slightly slim, but had no major health issues. During the 10 days, they survived on a bite of Sky Snacks daily and drank only cave seawater, all due to the coach's encouragement. The coach guided them through meditation and mindfulness to lower their metabolism. One of the English-speaking kids asked John, when can we get out of here? Someone will arrive soon with magical food, doctors, and a SWAT team, John said. Rick, however, was wary of overpromising. Kids weren't leaving anytime soon, based on his experience. If he gave the kids too much hope, it might shatter their last mental barrier. So, they began documenting each child's face with the camera, and that's when Rick found new purpose. Rick was deeply moved by the kids' will to survive. They battled nature and transcended fate with their actions. Perhaps at that moment, Rick made a decision to see he would try everything in his power to get the kids out alive. After leaving their spare flashlight with the kids, they set off on their journey back, determined. After a grueling 6 hours and 12 minutes, they successfully reached the cave's entrance. Although they had secured their videos, they clearly still hadn't mastered that kind of crisis management because being found didn't mean survival. The spectacular gunfire from the SWAT team caused uproar among everyone present, like a ticking time bomb detonating in the rescue scene. Even more shocking, they invited the media to blow it out of proportion, practically sealing their doom. When Rick and John emerged from the cave, everyone erupted into cheers. People were so emotional that tears flowed freely, and even the mayor personally came to thank them, only to receive a resounding slap in return. The mayor was full of confidence in the SWAT team, but Rick thought cave diving and bringing people out alive were completely two distinct matters. Because the first time they dove in, they rescued a repairman C, an adult man who could swim, yet encountered all sorts of issues just a few dozen meters in, nearly costing Rick his life. Subtitles. If you found this story to be thrilling, don't forget to click the subscribe button to follow more heart-pounding adventures, which will help you learn more and keep the joy coming endlessly.